Well, you Yu-Gi-Oh players ruined it with the 2020 Create a Card project right now being completely suspended and or canceled at the moment because of people that are basically cheating the system. Now, if you guys don't know what the heck the Create a Card project was, it's a really awesome idea where they have a bunch of different archetypes and we get to go ahead and vote on them via the Twitter page, and then more than likely what would happen is we would be getting newer support and or maybe even artworks, bumped up rarities, basically which one is your favorite archetype. They want to go ahead and ask the audience. Now, this is kind of difficult to do for multiple reasons. Now, the OCG has done this for quite a long time. They basically said, you know, what would you guys like? And for the most part, I think it goes relatively well. Here in NA, I guess our fan base may be a little bit more dedicated because what had happened, and this was posted on the official Twitter, it says, "Hello duelists, Twitter is investigating the legitimacy of the Create a Card poll results and monitoring the situation. While this may be disappointing for fans awaiting the next poll, we have decided to suspend the poll until we have some answers. We appreciate your support." So right now, it's completely suspended. We don't even have access to voting on the next results because of what had happened. Now, if you guys don't know what happened, basically the numbers, they were on the Valkyries versus Inzectors. And what had happened is the Inzectors were winning by quite a bit, and then the Valkyrie just shot up like crazy. Basically, someone had used a bot to actually buy the vote in for the Valkyrie so they would win. The Valkyries ended up actually winning, but there were Inzector players out there also that did vote on this and also were buying bots. So the only real winner at the end of the day is the people that made the bot accounts. There was a lot of memes and funny things, and I'll share them with you guys. So basically, people found out that people in other Facebook groups were basically saying, "Hey guys, we all gotta vote together," and that's totally okay because, you know, there's different, you know, subreddits and other forums for, like, you know, let's say Inzector players, and basically they're all saying, "Hey, let's go vote." And then some were like, "Hey guys, let's all chip in like $2 or whatever, and let's buy some bots." And so this was posted. Originally, it was the Valkyrie players that were voting, and people called them out on that by buying bots, and then they're like, Inzectors can buy votes too. So basically, they were buying bot accounts, and at the end of the day, Valkyries won, but I guess the Inzector players were buying, you know, votes too, and that's it's kind of funny at the end of the day, but it's really hard to actually do these online polls, and I kind of want to offer some sort of solution. But looking at some of the memes over here, you can see disqualified Valkyries, so they just wasted all their money for nothing. Yeah, there's a lot of people dumping in lots of money. I don't even know how much money was spent on trying to rig the poll results. Now, this is very difficult. It's not even just Yu-Gi-Oh players, because I know some people are like, "Oh my gosh, Yu-Gi-Oh players are the worst." But at the end of the day, there are other things that have gone on, and it's just difficult on the internet to basically have fair rules. But I do want to go ahead and kind of maybe offer some sort of solution, and also kind of talk about the memes. I don't know if any of you guys remember, there was a voting system for the next Mountain Dew flavor, and you guys want to know what won? Hitler did nothing wrong. That was the #1 vote choice for the next flavor of the next Mountain Dew. Obviously, they're not going to make that, but you cannot have these online polls where, like, anyone can participate. You basically have to have some sort of verification or way to go ahead and make it so these kinds of things don't happen. I mean, look at all these results. None of these are even, like, good flavors. Like, what the heck is Gushing Granny? Like... The problem is the internet will always be the internet. And in fact, there was a really good video over here that I want to go ahead and mention. It was basically explaining all of the crazy things that the internet has done. One of them was for Taylor Swift. They wanted to have Taylor Swift play at a school to have a contest. And guess what won? This is the school that actually won because people kept on voting for, like, a specific one. The one that won was the Horace Mann School for the Deaf. So she was supposed to play at a concert for the deaf. Like, I understand the internet is always going to be trollsy with this kind of stuff, but I wanted to go ahead and offer a solution that could maybe be a good idea for this. So, obviously, you know, botting is kind of, you know, out of the question. Like, that people are gonna bot on Twitter or on YouTube. Basically, you can't comment on any of, like, the Yu-Gi-Oh videos here in the TCG, for NA at least. And obviously, we can't really rely on using the polls for YouTube as well. They basically had it over on Twitter, although they announced it over on. It's kind of weird. But I think what they really should do for this is really make use of that Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron app, which I'm sure a lot of you guys have downloaded because you can connect your Konami ID and you're able to go ahead and use it for obviously scanning your I'm just downloading the update right now. I was just going to show it off. But you guys know what the Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron update is, right? So basically, you're able to connect your Konami ID. And I think this would be a great way for us to go ahead and be able to vote. And maybe it would require you to at least have used your Kasi ID at, let's say, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals within maybe like the past 1 or 2 years. I know that, with everything going on, maybe 2 years is a good time frame to kind of gauge, who's actually still participating at these Yu-Gi-Oh! Events, or even maybe having it so, because a lot of times during sneak peeks, they'll ask, like, there's a kind of a questionnaire if you guys, participate in sneak peeks. Sometimes they'd be like, what's your favorite card or stuff like that. Maybe they could do that as a way, but I guess technically maybe someone will pay the Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals, hey, yo, put this on the list, make this the #1 favorite. I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be people that will try to cheat the system. But I think that having a poll via like Twitter or a YouTube or any way where anyone can access it, it just adds to the potential that someone will cheat the system. I mean, at least with this, we're not voting on, like, let's say, ice barriers as a troll option. You know what I mean? Like, most of these are relatively fan favorites. But I also wanted to go ahead and talk a little bit more about it, as there's a lot of fans of these that are saying that these are like impossible for some of their archetypes. Like, for example, if we look at Dynomist versus Lightsworn, what archetype do you guys think is going to win? It is almost impossible unless the Dynomist player bots the accounts for that to win. I'm just going to go ahead and pretty much give you the result that Lightsworn will more than likely win. And I think a good solution for this could be even maybe if you buy a Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster box or something, you'd be able to vote. And if you guys are thinking it this way, okay, think about it this way. Even if, like, let's say people that really like that archetype, they're like, I'm just going to buy thousands of boxes and I'm going to cast all my votes, because maybe you go online, you enter a code, and you can vote for your favorite archetype, right? Or you can scan a QR code, takes you to a website, you can vote. That would be another way we can try to eliminate some of these, like, other outsider factors from cheating. And I'm curious to know if there's any other suggestions you guys have, because I think it's an interesting subject matter. But I was thinking that, like, yeah, you would be able to buy a booster box, or if you bought a booster box, you'd be able to scan a QR code, you could get to go ahead and vote. And obviously, like I said before, you guys might be thinking someone's going to buy out every single booster box, and at that point, that person is willing to invest that much. They're such a fan of the archetype that they're probably going to be buying that archetype at an insane rate. Therefore, that would be kind of, supporting the mega fan, or in terms of, like, we call them whales inside of mobile games, where, like, they're the ones that spend majority of the money that's incoming from their consumers. Like, it's just like the top, 1%, they're spending the most amount of money. But I don't know, what other solutions do you guys have to have this creator card project still continue? Because I think it's the coolest idea, but it was already ruined. And it's kind of disappointing that we're not going to get the next results. And I hope they don't cancel this project, because it's really cool. But again, when you have these other systems where anyone can participate, it's going to be hard, man. But anyways, let me know you guys' thoughts on it down below. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you enjoyed the discussion video about that. If you did, drop a like on it. And if you're new here and want to keep up to date with the Creator Card Project or more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content here, subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. Take care, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.